right, boys. So we're finally back to day 200 of becoming a millionaire. And it's been a crazy journey so far. You guys just might be watching this video, but if you guys don't know me already, my name is Daniel Diaz, and I've been documenting my entire lead generation agency journey from literally day zero. I was completely lost in life, and I just got fired from my job. I was doing e-com the last 3-4 years of my life. God put this person in my life, and now we are currently scaling this agency up. So you might ask me, what do I do exactly? So right now all we do is run cold emails. Okay, it's so simple, yet this is how we will get to our first 40K a month. And now you might ask me, how are you actually getting results for your clients? How are you actually getting these people meetings booked? And you guys might look at me and see some handsome young man in a brown sweater, just talking about cold emails and agency stuff. But I haven't really told you guys much about how we are actually getting our clients. So that's what this video will be about. And I'm just gonna go into basically everything we have been doing to successfully book our clients over 10 appointments a week. So far, we've sent over hundreds of thousands of emails. And this whole year, we've just been testing. We've had our ups and downs with clients. We've had good months and bad months, but that's just how business goes. But with one of our clients in particular, we have been able to achieve astounding results with him. And I will go into why we were able to get the best results with him and why we aren't really seeing the same results for our other clients. So if you guys are running cold email, if you guys are trying to get more meetings booked and make more money, this is an amazing vehicle to do so if you know how to do it properly. Enough of the yapping, boys. I'm just gonna get right into it. All right. Sorry, boys. So this is our whole client service delivery process. This is A to Z, how we start our service delivery for fulfillment, from deliverability to the actual campaigns being live and us booking appointments. So it all starts with the campaign building. Your base of the campaign, it all comes down to deliverability. So let me just zoom in here. We use Pork Bun and we use premium inboxes for our inboxes. We first start with deliverability. Deliverability is very, very important because it basically makes or breaks your whole campaign in general. If you have shit deliverability, you're gonna have a shit campaign and you're gonna have bad stats and you're gonna wonder why your cold emails aren't working. All inboxes are connected to warm up 14 days before launch. So we really try to make sure we have that 2-week warm up period for our email inboxes. And this is imperative, by the way. If you guys don't do a warm up phase, you guys are actual idiots. So don't rush, be patient. Whenever you guys onboard, you have to mention that there will be a 2-week wait for deliverability. You don't want to rush into it and get bad results. That's something you want to avoid. And in these 14 days, this is where we pretty much ideate all of our campaign ideas, figure out the copy, make banging offers, and essentially your end result should be inbox health over 98%. That is very healthy, and we run inbox placement tests every single month to ensure that all of our inboxes are remaining healthy. Because if our inboxes are, getting marked spam, or they're getting a lot of non-interested, or they're getting a lot of stops in the replies, it hurts the deliverability. So you guys want to be very cautious that as soon as you guys have an offer you guys test and you guys are getting shit on with negative replies, you guys need to change something up. And you'll be able to tell with looking at stats and data. So for example, if you have a very high reply rate, for example 3%, and your PRR, positive reply rate, is under 10%, your offer is shit. Simple. You're getting replies, your emails are getting through, but no one's interested and you're not getting any positive replies. So that means that your offer's bad, but if your reply rate's just shot in general and you're sending not too salesy emails and they look handwritten one to one, I'll show you guys some examples later. Then it's something with your deliverability or you guys are getting marked as spam. Next, list building. So we use Apollo to build our lists, and we actually have a 7-figure offer we run. So this kind of helps us get an idea of our client's ICP or our ICP if you're doing it for yourselves. And this basically has just the whole psychology behind our buyer, the person who actually wants our service, what they're going through, their pain points. It goes over our offer in depth, including a unique mechanism, including power offers from someone called Joel Irway, I believe, and he has sauce on offers in general and making no-brainers. So after we have that in place, we have our ICP, all that's locked in. We know exactly who we're targeting, what they eat, what they do in their day, their problems, their stresses, what type of podcast they listen to, their age, their departments, and we all just make sure we are aware of that when we write our copy and play on those pain points, on those desires, because at the end of the day, it's all psychology. Everyone wants to feel important. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Everyone cares about themselves, how they can look better for the company, how they can, it's just how you guys, in a lot of emails I get from cold emails, it's like I. It's only about me, not about you. So, sorry. It's about the person sending the email, not about me in this case. So after we have an ICP, we then go to Apollo and we get a list of about, or a TAM actually, of about your TAM should be over 10K, I believe. And after we find a TAM that is pretty large, then we bring that into Clay. And after this, we then segment that list. So someone in leadership might not have the same problems as someone in sales. What do I mean by that? I mean, for each role you target, your offer and pain points has to be different. You have to be appealing to that role's needs. So you can't be, actually, there is some cases, if you have a very unique offer and there's not many people running what you have, then you don't really need anything else. But for more basic offers, you really need to appeal to this specific role's pain points. So the copy, that's what your copy is supposed to do. You are supposed to articulate that you work with these type of roles and how you can help this role do this, if that makes sense. And here we go, the offer. So crystal clear outcome, measurable, time bound, zero jargon, conversational. There has to be a unique mechanism introduced, and your offer has to be relevant to a pain, extremely easy to obtain, and little to no friction. So your offer is super, super important. These 4 blocks right here are what make your campaigns. And your offer is basically how you can help them. A lot of people send offers, they use offers that don't have any sort of relevancy or specificity to it, and it's just broad, it's bland. You guys have to be measurable. You guys have to use numbers. For example, we can cut your CAC by 15% in 3 months. Or we can help you get 10 to 30 qualified demos in under 30 days. It's like, those are simple, very, very simple offers, by the way. And it matters. Like if you guys have amazing copy, for example, but a bad offer, again, you're gonna have bad results. So I won't go I won't go too deep into that. I'm just gonna go over like our service delivery process in totality. But then we get to the copy. No more than 4 to 5 lines, zero jargon, specific and relevant. So what do I mean by 4 to 5 lines? A lot of you guys send emails like boom, 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 and it's just like a fucking stack of words, and I'm just discombobulated at what I'm reading right now. It doesn't make sense. It's too much. I'm gonna skip by it. Your email has to catch your attention in the first 30 seconds, the first skim. If it's not about them, they're not gonna give a fuck. They have to. You have to hit a certain point, and you have to study that point, or you have to study that ICP to understand the pain points. So we like to write short and concise copies, typically under 100 words. And the copy, we always like to go the non-intrusive route, you know? So a lot of you guys in your copy, you guys, bloat it up with a bunch of unnecessary jargon and stuff that isn't really relevant at all. And it has to sound handwritten, it has to look handwritten. It has to look like you just took your time out of your day to write this email yourself and send to somebody. If it looks any sort of AI generated, you're gonna get slam dunked on. So it has to feel one-to-one. It shouldn't sound like a newsletter. It shouldn't have like sign up now or do this. It should sound like a real person, like me, myself, emailing you, for example, like a friend. And we don't like to keep it too professional either. We like to mix it up, throw some smiley faces in there, say haha. It's all about sounding human. People buy from humans. The more human and personal you get, even like we've been playing around with our PS signs a lot, because that is a perfect way to add some sort of personalization, so one of every 4 word spin tags. So 0 spam words, AI personalization properly added. So spin tags, I was just talking about that earlier. You guys should know what that is by now. Conversational, friendly tone, sentences are all spaced out, short, punchy, casual. Simple B2B copywriting principles. And if you guys are sending newslettery sounding copy inside of like B2B cold emails, you guys are going to get shit on. You guys are going to literally have 0.7 positive reply rates, when in reality they should be over 60%, or at least like 40 to 60% positive reply rate. At least that's what we like to go around. So after we have these bases laid out, the deliverability is on point, the list is on point, the offer is on point, the copy is on point, then we have our whole campaign ready to go. We start sending emails. Depending on the client, we change the amount of emails we send. So for our best performing client, we're only sending 500 emails a day. For other client, which hasn't been seeing as good as, which hasn't been seeing as good as results, we're sending about 1,500 emails a day on his account. So think about that. That's a lot of emails a day. And you guys can test offers sending this many emails a day in like 1 or 2 days. Literally, all it takes is 1,000 emails for one variation, and that is that should be your benchmark for a break and tell. So if we have an offer, like an angle that we are testing in our copy, variation 1, for example, and we send 1,000 emails with that variation, and it hasn't been getting positive replies, the reply rate's shit, it's not getting any interested, that's your sign to cut it off and test something new. You have to analyze what went wrong with that and keep on testing. This is what email is about. Test, test, test. Same with ads, for example. It's all about testing. So after we start sending a bunch of emails. Then we start to analyze and break down the data, which is another skill itself. You guys have to master acting and reading the data. There's a difference between reading the data and acting on data. So that's a skill to master, and that's what we are currently trying to get in control right now. So after we send about like 1 to 2K emails, then we can kind of properly analyze. All right, are our reply rates over 1.5%? Is our PRR over 10%? If those are good. Oh, and also, did we generate at least 5 leads? Did we get 5 people interested in this offer? Don't worry about this part. We're not really focused on that right now. But if these pass, all right, then we can move along here. Did they hit these KPIs? If they didn't, you have to go back to the whiteboard, boy. You have to get back to ideating, get back to building your offers, get back to copy, and it's okay. It takes sometimes 10 to 15 iterations on a variation to get it working, the same variation to get it working. And it's all about collecting that data, bro, and really testing and seeing what works. Or you can rerun the campaign and target a new ICP, new copy, whatever. Next, if they did, this is what we did for one of our clients, our best performing clients. We then run a lookalike on the leads to kind of generate the spam or the TAM. So everyone that was interested, we simply just broke down their filters and just got more of those people in Apollo, you know? And if we didn't do that, then we just went to the people that we're targeting right now, and we just double down on an angle that worked. So after that's figured out, then we can go back here, and it's just a constant flywheel effect of constant iterations and getting better. So boys, that's basically all I have for this video, and I'm gonna get into some sort of I'm gonna be posting more about offers and copies in this next coming week. So watch out for those if you guys are currently running cold emails. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys for day 201 tomorrow. Peace.